Okay, I can start. Very well. Okay, welcome everyone. It's really a pleasure to see all of you today. And again, apologies. As you have seen, we are experiencing some minor technical issues. So I hope that everything is solved now. My name is Marco Armiero, and I am the PI of the branch project. And today we will discuss and we will see a little bit how the Living Heritage platform works, the aims, and in which we be involved. But now I have more or less 5 minutes, and I'm really good with my keeping my time. So I have more or less 5 minutes to present to you something and to let you know something about the branch project in general. And this is what I'm going to do now for the next 5 minutes. So these are the main points of the branch project. Branch is a collaborative project putting together teams from different universities and countries in Europe. There is our group in Barcelona, the Autonomous University of Barcelona, but there is also Durham University, the University Vanvitelli in Naples in Italy, and the Meadow University in Turkey. Sorry, I am a little bit of a flu today. So, according to Branch envision heritage as both something at risk for climate change in general, other kind of environmental risks. You can just think about, pollution, contamination, air pollution, and so on and so forth. So something at risk and something able to tell a story about the risk we are all running. Branch proposes to shift from a user-driven approach to a living heritage approach. That is from a kind of consumerist idea of heritage. So heritage is a product that needs to be sold to tourists, to clients, to a citizen idea of heritage, something to inhabit, co-create, and shape. Branch is developing a transdisciplinary methodology because our team is a very multidisciplinary team with engineers and humanities and social sciences scholars. And Branch employs heritage as a storytelling device to enhance awareness of climate change. So what is the definition of heritage here? Well, heritage is the ensemble of material and immaterial legacies embedded into the landscape and the stories we tell about it. And this is for us very important. The project challenges the dichotomy, material versus immaterial, insisting that the two parts are actually connected, no? They are not separated at all. Branch assumes that storytelling can be heritage as much as a church, a monument, or something, made of stone. People visit specific heritage sites because they have stories to tell. The trenches of World War I in the Alps, or the laboratory of an alchemist in the old center of Naples, Italy, or the remains of a wall from the Cold War, are some example of the intertwine of narratives and heritage. I would say that without the stories we tell about them, those heritage sites might not even be considered heritage at all. No one would go to see, the remains of a wall in the middle of Berlin or some traces in the landscape in the Alps, unless we are actually preserving also the stories that are making those sites heritage. The methodology, well, I don't want to say too much about the methodology. I don't think this is the right, place to do so. But anyway, I want to stress only two things that I believe are relevant for today's meeting, for the Living Heritage Platform launch. The project is informed by the practices of citizen science and especially citizen humanities, nurturing the participation of citizens in the research, design, and collection of analysis of data. So we have in the project questionnaires, focus groups, photo voices, storytelling events, and other tools that are actually precisely part of a participatory research approach. Uh, and maybe this is what we need to say today in relationship with the environmental, with the Living Heritage platform. This is a map, and I am not going to describe the map in deep, but this is the map including the main sites of our research project. You have the Daron Castle, the Montes de Galicia in Spain, the Duomo of San Giorgio in Ragusa in Italy, another heritage site, which is the Ragueno Matanza River in Buenos Aires in Argentina, the Cathedral Tower of Caserta Vecchia, and here, sorry, I didn't put the reference, but this is actually, as you can see here, this is the site of the former military hospital in Naples, Italy. Those are the sites where we are working as empirical case studies. The aims are those that you can see in this slide, enhancing knowledge on the effects of climate change on heritage, analyzing how community perceive, inhabit, and envision their heritage vis-a-vis climate change, surveying existing practices and developing new for the living conservation of heritage, and then finally employing heritage, as I said already, as a storytelling device to make visible the risks of climate change. I am more or less concluding, 5 minutes as a promise. Those are few things that we have already done. I couldn't put everything we have done already, but just a few things. The QR code is a code that will lead you to our survey. I believe that around 200 people have already answered the questionnaire, and we are still collecting new answer. And then we have done a video dictionary, so you can find our video dictionary in the YouTube channel of a branch with around 20-25 entries. We have asked the colleagues around the world to explain one concept in a very short video, precisely making together a video dictionary for to understand climate change and heritage. And then here we have some of the deliverables that are available online in open access, which are more or less, referring to the main things that we have been doing. So we have the more recent one is the D3.1 climate models, which is a deliverable about our work, a visionary work to try to see what is happening in the case studies, so in this area and these sites in the future, considering the data we have so far on climate change. We have then another deliverable, how to make a people's plan, so how to involve the citizens, the communities living close to a heritage site. And then another deliverable is about how to involve schools in branch. What is happening next? We will organize a summer school, we will organize a theater event, and of course we will try to come up with the people's climate plan. This is all. Thank you, and sorry if maybe I was a little bit longer than I was supposed to be.
Okay, thank you, Marco. Can you hear us? You hear us now? Okay, perfect. We're having some problems, some issues before. Now we solved them, so perfect.
No, I am still hearing from my phone, but
okay.
It's working.
Okay. Marco, could you please stop sharing? Thank you. So we will now start our presentation. Just in a moment. Okay, I think you can see the presentation. Okay, so welcome again to our kickoff meeting of the platform. Some of you, we have been in touch for some time now. Some of you participated in our video dictionary. Some others are directly involved in the project. Some others are here because we have been in contact somehow. And we are very happy of having you here because for us it's like a milestone in the project to have finally launched the platform and to see if it's what we are trying to do will have some useful moments for you and for the heritage communities around the world. So for starting, a very brief theoretical moment, why we are thinking and we thought about doing a living heritage platform. As Marco was saying before, we start from the fact, from our point of view, from our perspective, that we cannot consider heritage as a fixed datum or something that is dead, something like we have to preserve, something very physical, something that cannot change. Actually, what we are thinking about from our theoretical perspective is that heritage is alive and are the relationships that create and care for it that embody heritage itself. It's not the object or the place that is heritage itself, but it's the relation that communities build with these places, with these objects, with these traditions that create the bonding that makes heritage important to ourselves. So, coming from this background, we wanted to have a place where we could actually see the living part of this heritage, a place where communities, people that somehow have something to do with heritage, that could be just activists or scholars or maybe just workers, both in archaeology or maybe both in museums or whatever type of work is connected to heritage, to have a space outside of traditional platforms, social networks and social medias, to share and make in common about heritage and discuss what is their main point, what are their problems or their issues that they are facing with heritage. And in particular, being Wrench, a project that focuses about heritage and climate change, we wanted to have a space where communities could discuss the problems they were facing with climate change, and to discuss their solution they found to defend their proper heritage. So as I was saying, the main idea of this platform, as we will see later on, is a place to present problems, ideas, solutions, curiosities, and whatever it is felt necessary to be spoken about heritage. So now I will leave the word to Giusy in a couple of moments, just saying that in order to do that, everything that we were saying just right now, we developed two tools. The first one is the Living Heritage Map that we will present it right now. And the second one is the Living Heritage Hub. The map is intended to be a place where these sites are displayed. So that people, that communities can upload their place, while the Heritage Hub will be the place where the communication, the discussion, the sharing of ideas could be done. So I leave the floor to Giusy.
Thank you, Samuele, and hi to everybody. I'm also very happy to see many faces that we have been in contact in these months, new faces. So I will briefly now introduce the rationale behind the Living Heritage Map. And after a brief introduction, we will have some time to familiarize a bit with its structure and function. So we will try to interact a bit with the map during the meeting. And then I will hand over again to Samuele to do the same thing with the Living Heritage Hub. So we will experiment a bit today. But before, let me just say that we want to emphasize that both the tools, the map and the hub, are currently under development. So we are experimenting them. And for this reason, any suggestions or comments regarding their structure, usability, or the conceptual framing, or how they are user-friendly or not, everything is very welcome from you. This is why we organize this meeting, and we want to stay in contact also during the development of these tools. And also we want to highlight that we are working with open source and open access technologies that are freely available online. And this choice reflects our strong belief that the value of openness that for advancing knowledge, science, technology. So it was an ethical choice, the one to use Open UMap, that is based on OpenStreetMap, and Zulip, we will see later on, that are open tool and open source. So let's start talking a bit about the Living Heritage Map. The idea of making a map about living heritage draws inspiration from a broad array of atlases, crowdsourced online mapping platforms, other digital tools that have already been developed and then demonstrated some substantial impact. So, for example, in this slide, you can see the Environmental Justice Atlas, the Global Atlas of Environmental Justice, up in the left, that documents social conflicts related to environmental issues. It was launched in 2011 in a project that was coordinated by Jean Martinez Allier, and is still ongoing and coordinated by a network of researchers and activists, and it has produced hundreds of entries. More than 4,000 cases have been mapped to date. So just to say that Atlas's online maps are very powerful tools. On the other side, top right, you can see another tool that is online that has been developed by our Marco Armiero under the Occupy Climate Change project, and it is the Atlas of the Other Worlds. And it's a mapping tool that documents urban and grassroots initiatives addressing climate change, exactly. So it's also in a way linked to what we are focusing with our Living Heritage Map. And also another tool that is online available that has been that we know about it because a person of our network, of the Ranch network, thanks to the fact that we are developing the questionnaire, the video dictionary, contact us and pointed out of this specific instrument that is developed by the Adaptive Heritage Practice Lab at the University of Exeter. And the map is called Changing Places, and it's a platform that conceived exactly as a living, evolving archive where communities are cultivating, where that maps practices where communities are cultivating the skills needed to adapt to climate change. So what we want to do with this map that we are developing through the Living Heritage platform, of course, it is not to duplicate existing initiatives, but or to add another tool in a already overcrowded landscape online. But we want to do something that could be complementary to what is already out there. And we want to, through this map, we want to introduce a specific focus on the nexus between climate change and living heritage, exactly how we were discussing in the introduction. So what you find right now in the map and how it is organized. So right now you find in blue the ranch pilot sites. So they are present on the map, and in a way, we will interact with that, but we will see that you can read something about the cases that we are developing through the ranch project. Then we have started mapping extreme weather events and the effects that extreme weather events had on climate change starting from 2024 on heritage. And it's the other layer. You can see it is called Heritage Impact by Climate Change from 2024 up to let's say up to the end of the project, or even more if we keep this instrument alive even more. And this is something that we are developing as part of our research to understand what is happening in terms of the impacts of extreme weather event on heritage. We have been focusing just on the Mediterranean area right now, but we want to expand more. And this is also why we think it is a useful tool to have a map that can be modified in a way that can collect other cases that people can tell us. And the last link, that is the one that we will interact with, is called exactly Living Heritage heritage platform. Right now, we will see it contains 5 entries. This is because we have started experimenting with this link involving kids of a secondary school in Ragusa, and we have asked them a very simple question: can you tell us what's your favorite heritage in the world? So not just in the place where they live, but more generally. And they have started telling us places, and we have started a discussion reflecting on the effects of climate change on those heritage sites. That link, the Living Heritage Platform, it is exactly the link that you can interact with, because this link can be modified by everybody. And so we will stop for a while this presentation, and we will start a bit interacting with the map. We will ask you to map a place that you consider to be for you a heritage site. You can indicate its name, and in the description can explain why it holds heritage significance, heritage value for you. And then if you want, you can also add some thoughts related to the effect that climate change is having on this heritage site. So we will stop now, and we will move from the presentation to the map. It is very simple. As you can see, you have here top right.
Maybe I think you have everyone, you have the link, but just in case, we will share it in the chat so you can open it. So here comes the link.
So if you all can please open the link, you should be able to see this map, right? You can go on modify, and then you can search a place. You can put here the name of a place. You can start with Barcelona, just to give an example. It goes to the place that you have written here. You can zoom a bit if you want. If you want to add a point, you just go up right again, and you should be able to see this marker. You click on it, and then you place the point in the heritage site you want to describe. And then you can write the name and whatever you wish in description. Draft. When you are done, you can go up right and save. We'll take 5 minutes to do this.
So if you want, we take 5 minutes, and you can try to add something. And also on our website, you can find information on how to add an image if you want, so that when the pop-up of your site is open, there is already an image embedded if you want. But for now, you can just try to add one, and then you can maybe change it later when we'll have more time. So see you in 5 minutes, and let's see what comes out. Okay, here we are. So we hope that some of you have been able to add some points. Does anyone has experienced some issues, some problem that you're going to share with us, just to try to solve it right now if it's needed? So we see that, for example, here we have some, let's refresh it just for, okay. So for example, we see Venice, here is the new place. So just to, someone added this Venice, this Tigli also in Via dei Tigli. And this is an error, I think. Just to show you something, the classic, let's say, output we are thinking is just a short description of the place and why the place is affected by climate change and somehow. So just to know that if you want, you will be able to modify later the points that the markers that you just put in the map. They are open to anyone, so you can modify them whenever you want. And you can also, just for conclusion of this part, do you have something else
No,
to say?
it's exactly that. If you want to add, and it's important for us to know why it is a heritage site that is important for you, and in what ways it is affected by climate change, or if there are some climate actions going on into that site. So these are the 2 points.
Yes,
Yeah.
this data will be always open. So whenever this page is open, the program itself will let you add points just in the Living Heritage Platform layer. So feel free to change it or to spread it among your friends or people that you think it's interested in doing this. Okay, so we go on our presentation and we present Zulip. So again, we've thought that 2 tools could be useful for our platform, and one of those was a social network, no, a place where people could freely speak and discuss about their issues in their heritages sites. We wanted to be, as Josie was saying before, on a free and open source platform in order to avoid using Facebook or other platforms. We know it's sometimes difficult to not use platform that we are used to, but we think it's important also to, as a political and an ethical point, to try to use other tools. So we, after asking a couple of friends that are involved in these activities, we found Zulip. So just to make another time the exercise we did right now, I will again put in the chat the link for Zulip. Some of you probably are already a part of the platform. If not, by clicking to this link, you can register yourself, and we can just try for a moment to use it. So in the meantime, you complete your subscription. I'll open the site. I think you can see it. So the main outlook is like one a classical social network. So on your right side, you can see the people that are or subscribed to the platform, and on your left, you can see the feed, so the messages that you received, both personal messages from some one of the other participants or general messages. So first of all, if you want to, we prepare some channels that you can use. You can find them right here in the bottom part on your left, sorry. So the first one is the home. The home will welcome any type of communication that is made on this platform, and we prepared one specific sub channel that is called Living Heritage Platform Kickoff. So whenever you are ready, you can try to put some messages in here, and in order to open a conversation in whatever page you will be inside Zulip, you will find this bar that is called messages. In this case, we are already in home and Living Heritage Platform, but if you change it, it will be the same chat. So you go here and then you can open a new conversation. So you start the conversation, you can see that you are writing in home, and what you can do, you can add a new topic. So for example, if I want to open a conversation about heritage, let's say, and the sea, for example, I can then write my message, draft 1. I can send it, and we have a new topic in under home that is called Heritage and the Sea, and you can forward, quote the message, you can answer to the message, and this is the basic function of the platform. Just to tell you, in the meantime, we created some channels that you can use. This first one is the effects of climate change on heritage. So it's a channel that is taught for as a space of debates and discussion about material and immaterial effects of climate change on heritage. So the idea in this channel is that people can join and add some ideas or problems they are facing about their heritage sites. Then we added an ongoing projects channel. This is specifically taught for people that work in research, but also in other activism that are looking for funding. And the idea is to use this channel to share among us projects, calls that we find. In particular, ongoing project is a place where we would like to have projects that are already that have already started, and we want to share with the others that the fact that these projects exist. Then there is share call for project. Just Mike, for example, just thank you, Mike. Put an insight about this project. That's exactly why we created this channel. Then we have Wrench goes to school, and that's because we are working a lot with schools and with students. So the idea of this channel is to have a dedicated space for students to use this platform. And then we added the generic Your Heritage Problem and Solution where anyone can add some ideas or discussions. So this is mainly the idea, just to say that from whenever place in the platform you are, you can always change the channel from your where do you want to write, so you don't need to open it, and you can also send direct messages. So if you want to speak to specific users, let's say for example, if I want to write to Josie because she posted something that I found interesting, but I don't want to put it public, I can always write a direct message to her, and the direct messages will come here in your inbox. And in the inbox, you will have also all the others information, but they will be separated. So this is the main idea. I see that someone, Marco, for example, put something new here. There is the draft. I don't know if someone at the occasion will have like another couple of minutes if you want to try. But this is the main idea of the platform. So a place where we can share things and ideas about heritage and climate change and how we perceive the problem also. So let's wait a couple of minutes and then we can go to the conclusion of this meeting.
5 minutes again, as we did before. Yes. So feel free now to send messages in whatever channel you feel more comfortable with.
So, for example, Georgia, we see that you just put a like on our post.
Message, yeah.
So just to, whenever you want, you can add things and you can try to familiarize yourself with this platform. It's quite straightforward. We used it for a moment to be sure that it was useful, and we think it's very easy. And also, as we were saying before, it goes out from the addictive and commodity target that other platforms are used, that the other platforms we use are involved nowadays. So that's why we are here.
Yeah, and also it helps us to keep focus on the topic, right? We know that in this space, we can collect all the information, conversations about heritage and climate change, and it is not like having some information on the email, some other information on other social networks, some other information spread everywhere. We would like, to have a space where we can collect all this information together, stay focused and connect each other, of course.